welcome to my YouTube channel, 90% Native. My name is Michelle and I garden in Northern Virginia in Zone 7A. Today we're going to go on a tour of my cutting garden. I did a cutting garden tour a week or two ago, but things are happening so fast, so I definitely want you to see what's going on. Okay guys, so here we are in front of the cutting garden. As you can see, things are really starting to leaf out. So the exterior bed on the side of the cutting garden is really coming along. I have the irises are growing up. I did cut back the Carex amphibola. I can see a lot of great blue lobelia rosettes starting to green up and show themselves. There is nodding onion starting to appear. Right here's some. And the peony stems are getting really large. I cage these in tomato cages, and the heavy duty tomato cages, so they look good. The steeple bush back there is leafing out. So everything's looking really nice in this bed. And then I did clean out my whiskey barrel pond. So you can see the marsh marigolds are just blooming their heads off. And then I cleaned up the irises and the Juncus effusus. I have these bamboo stakes around. I'm missing a couple because I used them elsewhere to keep my dog from drinking the water, number one, and number two, to keep the raccoons from partying in my whiskey barrel ponds. The hypericums that line the front of the cutting garden are looking great and green. Okay, so I think I've mentioned it before. The Hypericum prolificums will get pretty big, probably, I don't know, like 3 feet tall. And in the late winter and in the very, very, very late winter, very early spring, I will cut them back by 50% so that they can keep a tidy look. I think I might want to come back over here and clean up the Carex. I think I switched to Carex blanda over here. Anyway, okay, so into the cutting garden we go. In the left bed, I have the tulips are blooming beautifully. So the front left bed, I told you before that I have purple tulips and I have white tulips. And then where you see the stakes are the dahlias that I overwintered outside. So they may be alive, they may be dead, I have no idea. And then my husband and my daughter put together 2 more arch trellises for me. They just have a 4th one to complete. Behind the purple and, oh, I almost forgot. Okay, in the front here, I threw out some alyssum seed. So that's in here. And then I also put in some calendula seed in here as well, because when this rolls over to the summer bed, there are going to be more yellows and oranges here. Okay, behind those tulips, we have the bed with the poppies. So here are some of the poppy seedlings. I also put, I think it's like 6 purple cone flowers in here. And I have some scabiosa downstairs that goes in here as well. We also have some other items. Let me see if I can get out of the shot. This was left over from an experiment last year. This is the Monarda didyma, the red Monarda, and I can't remember what that is. That's like, I think that's bone set. I'm not 100%. And then there are some poppies that self-seeded last year in the fall by themselves. So I'll get the scabiosa out here pretty soon. I actually forgot that it was downstairs and probably could have come out. Okay, so moving back, actually, you know what? I'll go to the back. Okay, here are my brassicas that still need to be covered for when the cabbage white butterflies get here. I added some chamomile, German chamomile in here. These are the burgundy broccoli. And then we have the cauliflower snowball Y. I think this is cold damage. If you know that to be true, let me know, because I noticed it after it was cold. So all of these little beds, these little grow bags received a chamomile. And then here is the, what is this? Broccoli rub, and then dino kale, and red Russian kale. And the sweet peas that I put in here seem to be dead, but I have more. And then my little winter my winter sowing is coming along here. I'll show you the Virginia bluebells. I think this is wild garlic, and I think that that is a deterrent of pests for the brassicas. I have to double check, but that's why I'm gonna keep that there. Okay, so in the back bed, here are the red snapdragons that I transplanted out, last weekend. And then these would be like legionnaires, poppies, and red poppies. And then in front of that, these, they look pink now, but I'll show you another one. They're red tulips. I'll come around the other side. So red tulips, and then you can see all the poppies down there intermixed. Oh, and I also put in black velvet nasturtiums, about 6 of them in here. What I'm doing this year, which I think I've mentioned, is that I am, I'm just really trying to use a green mulch, and then all these things that I'm interplanting with each other, I'm trying to put in things that are good pest deterrents, things that fix nitrogen, like in the pea family, using these plants, the lower plants, as green mulch, and then just chopping and dropping everything once they go over. Moving on to the orange bed, we have these beautiful, are these tulips or daffodils? I don't even know. Daffodils, okay. We have these beautiful daffodils, and then you can see the poppies down here. These are the orange California poppies. I also have the Empress of India nasturtium. And then here, let's see if I can get a better view of these. Here are the orange snapdragons, and those back there, those are actually purple alliums, or ornamental alliums. Moving on to the yellow bed, we have our daffodils in full bloom, probably going to go over soon. Behind that, we have some yellow tulips that are budding up, and then we have butterscotch nasturtium, yellow snapdragons, and then that's Rudbeckia triloba. That one's a perennial. Here's how my alpine strawberries are looking. And then in this grow bag, we have magnolia blossom snap peas and muscalin lettuce and another type of lettuce, I think a green one. Here we have sugar magnolia snap peas. And then we have radishes. We have French breakfast and Easter egg, and then some coral honeysuckle cuttings. Now coming around to the bed on the right, I have more of the purple coneflowers in here, and I believe this was the bed for the nigella, which didn't do so well. So not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but we'll see. And just a quick update, here are some germinating golden alexanders, And here are the Virgin's Bower, Virginia Clematis cuttings that I took a couple weeks ago, looking good. Then we'll walk up front. This is the pink bed, so we have the pink tulips over here. And then we have these are some like double white and pink tulips. And then in here we should have some Poppy Supremes. I'll put a picture up. You can see they're just starting to germinate. They're supposed to be really pretty. And then I have, if I didn't already mention it, purple coneflower as well. Okay, moving over to the corner bed. This is where I'm gonna put purple hyacinth bean for the fence, but I just dropped in a borage and a oregano. Here's some more oregano that's coming up. Here's some more borage. Yeah, so I did a lot in here, and I don't think that I mentioned that in that back bed, the blue purple bed, that has borage seeds that I seeded last weekend. And yeah, so borage seeds over here, maybe some over there, alyssum on all the outer edges that will get sun. And yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, but I'm leaving those stakes in for the dahlias, and then I put in these T-posts right here. I'm gonna try like 3 different ways of staking my plants this summer. Let me come around the front. Okay, so coming around the front. So in other videos, I have mentioned that with this 8-foot stakes that I will be, the dahlias will be attached to those. That's what'll stake the dahlias. But also, because the dahlias are staked, and that's going to be intermixed with zinnia and cosmos, I'm hoping that the staked dahlias help support the unstaked zinnia and cosmos. If it starts to become a problem, then I'll start tying the dahlia stakes together. Okay, so then behind that, where I have the T stakes, so right there I'm going to probably tie across to the arch trellis. So each T stake will tie across to the same area on the arch trellis, and then I'll keep tying those in as the plants grow bigger. So that's the second type. And then over here, what I might do with the T stakes is try and use some netting that I purchased over the winter to give it a try. So 3 different ways of staking things. It's always very difficult to stake in this garden. I really haven't found the sweet spot yet. Also because, yeah, there's my golden Alexander that's still pushing out blooms. These golden Alexanders are incredible. Okay, looks like I'm about to run out of battery, so I'll quickly go over to the these frames. So you can see in here all the native plants are emerging. I have mountain mints and asters and sneezeweeds and Virgin's Bower and purple cone flowers and steeplebush, all sorts of sedges and rudbeckias. There's some blue poppies. Oh, you know what? I can use those. There's some blue poppies. And then over here are the shadier plants, and there are bluebells and nodding onions and buttonbush and turtlehead and ramps. And they're the bluebells from last year. Those are second-year bluebells. More ramps, elderberries, all sorts of good things. And then here for my quote-unquote deer-resistant vegetables, I have more radishes, early scarlet, and then here I have carrots and Walla Walla onions, the Parisian carrots. And then this is cherry bell radish. These are the Cabernet onions intermixed with more Parisian carrots. And then this final one is rutabaga and white Lisbon bunching onions. Okay, so my battery ran out, so I ran and I got my GoPro, and we will try and finish up the tour of the cutting garden. If you guys have any questions for me about any of these natives that I'm growing in the cold frames and how they need or germination requirements, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions about my natives, because they are my first and main love in the garden. And as you can see, obviously, I still have yet to get the muscle into here to move these frames. Back along this side of the fence, I'm going to put cucumbers. Supposedly the deer will stay away from them. We'll try them. I'll do cucumbers in and outside of the fence. And then I have these fantastic black raspberries from out at my parents'. They're more native to the mountain region of Virginia, and they're supposed to be absolutely delicious, and I actually just love their stems. They have that glaucous look. I think I'm going to take those and move them over here in between these non-native azaleas. These non-native azaleas are going to be cut all the way back to about a foot or so above the ground. And then here in this middle part, I want to put those black raspberries. I'll probably go out to their house and steal some more. Hi, bird. There's a robin up there. So then I can get in there and easily pick them, because I won't be keeping the azaleas this large. Okay, so that covers the cutting garden tour. As you can see, so much has happened since I gave the previous tour, and I wanted to show you guys because I'm so excited about the beautiful tulips and the things that are happening in there, and combining some of my edibles and cutting flowers and native flowers and just seeing what's going to happen. So really excited about the space, and I'm really loving the way it looks. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of my cutting garden. If you did, please consider subscribing, liking, or sharing with your gardening friends. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time.